climate-related challenges continue to affect key sectors in Namibia, including agriculture and water resources. Now, in response, the Southern African Science Service Center for Climate Change and Adaptive Land Management is implementing its second research program. The research program focuses on generating data and solutions to support national development goals. Representatives from government, research institutions and other sectors will meet in Windhoek tomorrow for a national feedback workshop. The aim is to review progress and align efforts under the theme Strengthening Climate Resilience through Food Security and Water Management. Now in studio we are joined by Dr. Musonda Ngonga, a Senior Scientist, Regional Secretariat, and as well as Mr. Panduleni Amkwaya, the Program Coordinator from SASCAAL, to help us understand the objectives and progress made so far and the direction that we are headed into. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning to the viewer.
Absolutely. Dr. Mr. Panduleni, I want to call you doctor. I want to promote you quickly. Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps let's start with you, Mr. Panduleni. The main objective of SASCAAL 2.0 research program and why it's actually very important for Namibia right now.
Oh, thank you very much. I think that's a relevant question.
Yeah.
But to understand, I think maybe I should put it in the whole broader context of SASCAAL.
Absolutely.
SASCAAL is an initiative established by Namibia, Angola, Zambia, Botswana and South Africa, and with a collaborating partnership with Germany.
Yeah.
Germany, they have been our main funding contributors for our operation and activities.
Yeah.
Primarily is to help us to focus our research on climate-related issues, as well as to address issues of land management and so on.
Yeah.
And most importantly is also the whole issues of capacity building. That has been our main focus when it comes to SASCAAL.
Yeah.
But what is also very important is to understand that the thematic workshop that we are going to have tomorrow is a build-up of the earlier research portfolio that we've been undertaking.
Yeah.
We had what we call SASCAAL Research Portfolio 1,
right,
which started sometimes 2012 to 2018. And those were projects which were identified under different thematic areas from agriculture, water, biodiversity, as well as capacity building.
Yeah, yeah.
And in Namibia, we had what we call the national tasks. They were primarily focused to align with the national programs within the countries.
Yeah.
And out of that, we were able to come up with some result-based solutions, which we were also able to produce, product and services,
yeah,
including what we have now, what we call a SASCAAL Weather Net. This is an investment that we have put up through what we call automatic weather station to generate information on climate-related data.
Right.
And this is information that we can proudly say that we're able to help us understand the whole issue of flooding, the whole issue of rainfall, and it also helps us also to what we are basically now going to produce, that is early warning systems,
yeah,
together with our line ministry, like the Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fishery and Land Reform.
Yes.
They have been our main supporter, since we get also what we call a country contribution from member state countries. In the government of Namibia, they've been contributing to our operation and activity in SASCAAL. Hence, SASCAAL 2.0, what we call SASCAAL Program 2.0,
yes,
is primarily going to now look at the whole regional aspect of climate change,
yeah,
within the regional context. But tomorrow's workshops is we are going now to look at what we were able to achieve with all the different projects, those that are focusing in food securities,
yeah,
water securities, and also inviting the beneficiaries, and our beneficiaries in this respect is the communities like the farmers, or the research, and even the policymakers. We are all going to come in one table and discuss and look at what we have been able to achieve, and also to look way forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for explaining that. Dr. Musonda, talk to us about the theme. We understand it's strengthening climate resilience through food security and water management. Can you just elaborate the theme for us a little bit in layman's terms? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much. Actually, we are aware that as at now, climate change is with us.
Yeah.
And of course, it is with us. It's a crisis now, targeting our human lives and, of course, ecological landscapes. So basically, we are aware that because of these issues, our people are being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And of course, it is climate change is manifesting through floods, droughts, and of course, extremely weather events which have increased in frequency and intensity. So specifically for Namibia, you will find that the fragile ecosystem, fragility of the ecosystem because of arid climate, and of course the community vulnerability because of largely depending on rain-fed agriculture, you find that water and food nexus provide a fundamental platform upon which climate resilience should be built on. Yeah. So basically you find that if this food and water system collapse, is compromised, then you will find that the livelihoods are compromised, poverty is exacerbated, and of course you'll find that it also undermines the livelihood, the human being itself. So this theme speaks to us as an important talking place where we can have a platform where our stakeholders comes in so that we can discuss on the way forward. Basically, as my colleague Bandu has stated, you know, SASCAAL has been implementing research programs for some time. And of course, we are targeting the food security and of course, water security. So that program, that theme talks to that, so that we can provide some scalable innovations and of course, provide some intervention, speak to our stakeholders, and also get the response on the food and water system. So basically, this theme tends to address the issues of food security, water security in Namibia.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that explanation. Now, Mr. Bandu, Namibia is leading key projects such as wireframe reefs and these other projects which are focused on various matters. Talk to us about the projects, rather the progress that has been made so far from those projects.
Yes, we have been implementing this project for almost 4 years now.
4 years.
And we have different intervention areas within Namibia. And this particular project, let's say, for instance, where is looking at the assessment of water storage within the Kovela system in the northern part of Namibia. Right. We are trying to understand how the hydrological systems works within the Kovela system. As we are very much aware, currently we are experiencing some floods that are coming within southern Angola, coming to Namibia. Together with our researcher and the students, we are trying to have a better understanding on how best either we can store these waters or how the whole mechanism of these systems works within the Kovela system. And when it comes to other projects like food securities, we have what we call then the projects that are focusing on trying to understand how we can improve the crop variety, for instance, when it comes to drought. As you are aware, apart from flood that we're experiencing now, we're experiencing droughts.
Before,
So we want to come up with some crop variety that will be able to not only resist drought, but also can successfully grow within the limited water that we may have in the country. And at the same time, we are looking at the concept together with the Ministry of Agriculture, what we call conservation agriculture, together with the communities, on how we improve the crop production and the varieties within our interventions areas. Yeah. So far, we can successfully say that we are generating a result in terms of the data, in terms of also the communities moving away from the traditional way of doing things into a modern way, which is scientifically informed and also proven. Yeah. And at the same time, we through our results, we are not only doing some publication through our students, but we have been able also to come up with some policy brief, and this is also to inform our decision makers on how to do things in a certain areas or interaction. What is also very important is the students. As you are aware, SASCAAL is not only having what we call the green hydrogen program to provide scholarship to our students, but also through all these projects that we are having, the 8 projects we are having students that are doing their honors, their master degrees, and so far, Dr. Musonda, if I'm not mistaken, we are almost 40 students that are doing their master degree and PhDs, and various areas of their studies or these thematic areas that we are focusing on. And this to us is very, very important as it's a research-based, but also to inform the decision-making as we move forward, given the fact that the whole issue of climate change is very dynamic. It's not constant, today is like that, tomorrow is like that. We have all this, we need all this information to inform our decision-making when it's come to agriculture, when it's come to water, and so on. Absolutely. So, hence, I think that has been a very important result from our end. And the workshop of tomorrow, bringing all our principal investigators, the students, or the researchers or institutions, is now to look at all this, what they've been doing through all these projects. And what is also very important is that we want to see at the end of the day how does this align to the national priorities and program and so on. As you are very much aware, our current president, she's always saying that let's align our activities, our program within the National Development Program or even the SWAPO Manifesto. This is all what we want to make sure that everything that we do align to all those.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dr. Musonda, talk to us about the importance of having a project that's focused on empowering. I'm picking that up, especially from what Mr. Panduleni has said. We see communities being empowered out of this project. We also see students who are also being empowered, but being brought on board to also be part of a decision-making initiative to, of course, curb the challenge that has been caused by climate, especially of recent year.
Yeah, thank you very much. SASCAAL really has been involved in research, as my colleague has stated, in terms of innovative solutions that comes to the impacts of that solves the issues of impacts of climate change. So you find that SASCAAL is involved in all aspects in the landscape. We are talking of food security, water security, biodiversity conservation, climate science itself, and of course forests and woodlands. So basically for Namibia, which hosts the water security leadership in terms of the SASCAAL framework, you will discover that the community are quite benefiting through projects like WIRE project, which is talking about water innovation solutions, sustainable water solutions in the north of Namibia, of course sharing with Angola. Then we are talking about the RIBS project. RIBS project is quite a project that look at improving the rangeland, which is being degraded, and then trying to restore it. Of course, that is also a very good project where our community have to benefit. In terms of FRAME project, also looks at the the climate resilient crops like melon, watermelon. We tried to look at the molecular diversity, combine it with indigenous knowledge, so that at least we select the variety that could respond to the impacts of climate change. And basically you find that also at the in terms of the decision-making too, my colleague talked about the automatic weather stations. You find that SASCAAL is supporting automatic weather stations to provide real data information so that people can act on the information, use the information to inform policy, to inform practitioners, and of course community of use in terms of the farmers who wants to predict what crop they can go in and what variety they should use in order to become resilient to the issues of climate change. And of course, not forgetting the issue of capacity building. You know, students are benefiting from SASCAAL. Generally, SASCAAL supports research together with the capacity building. Generally, in the region, we have about 104 students supported by SASCAAL. And of course, for Namibia itself, we are supporting about 34 students who are being directly supported by SASCAAL, of course, with some other students which are indirectly benefiting from SASCAAL. So basically, you find that they are involved in research and addressing the issue for food security in terms of RIBS project, WIRE project, TPEC project, and the TPEC project is also another project which is quite cardinal to our side because it provides some projections in terms of the climate and of course looking at the tipping points in terms of the factors and the indices that can inform us at the level at which we are moving in terms of the landscapes, in terms of forestry, in terms of agriculture, in terms of fisheries, and all those aspects. So basically, it's the whole continuum of activities which is taking place under SASCAAL, and of course, we benefit. We think that all the stakeholders who are coming together with us tomorrow, the policy. If you talk about the policy, all the information from SASCAAL is providing some insight on how best they can inform policy. The practitioners, the technicians themselves, those people who are involved in land management, conservation, agriculture, we have very tested lessons learned from the innovations we are implementing around the SASCAAL. And of course, the owners, the farmers themselves, they are being benefiting from SASCAAL projects.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Doctor. We are unfortunately running out of time, but I just want to quickly, just briefly engage you, Mr. Pandoleni, on how the outcomes of this workshop can actually, shape the future national policies on climate change in Namibia. Of course, looking at agriculture and water management as well. And also just lastly, to share with the public, of course, mention that this will also have this event or the workshop tomorrow can also have the members of the public part of it. So where can they, of course, find this venue and also become part of this workshop?
Okay, thank you very much. Earlier, I briefly mentioned that the SASCAAL's activities and operations are informed by our national programs and priorities. Hence, moving forward, we want to make sure that whatever we are doing is informed by the national policies and program. At the same time that they are scientifically proven. And the results that were, as my colleague have mentioned, that they are being innovative in a way that they can make some societal impact or improvement of the livelihood of the people. It doesn't help doing science, but it does not really make a change or improve on the livelihood of the people on the ground. Just to mention, on top of what my colleague briefly said in terms of capacity building, we have already even established some postgraduate program in collaboration with NAST. These are the research or studying program that is focused on integrated water resource management to really come up with our own expert in those fields. So moving forward next year is also to inform now from the results that we are having now and the discussion that we are having tomorrow is to inform us on how to address those gaps that exist within our research focus areas, within the whole broader context, also within Southern Africa, not only in Namibia.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, this workshop is taking place in a country club, starting early in the morning around 8 and it's going to take place for the next 2 days. We have a different program from the presentation, panel discussion, and the students are also invited to present their posters and the result, and also to engage. And we have also deliberately invited the communities, the farmers themselves that my colleague have mentioned, to come and showcase lesson learned from the field. And all this will be packaged, consolidated, and they will we'll use it also to inform SASCAAL 3.0, for instance, or any other decision-making process.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this morning. Such a very insightful conversation we had this morning.
Thank you.
I hope to speak to you again about the outcomes of this workshop. So thank you so much, and wish you all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dr. Musonda Ngonga, as well as Mr. Panduleni Hamkwaya, was talking to us about a workshop that is, of course, taking place tomorrow here in the capital under the theme that is strengthening climate resilience through food security and water management. The public as well is also invited. This will be taking place at Country Club tomorrow as of 8 o'clock in the morning. You are invited to come and engage, of course, our policymakers, or rather also just ask questions on what is happening, the effects of climate change, and as well as how we can move towards a better and sustainable Namibia, of course, with the recent effects of the climate change.